So today we are going to do introduction to graphic design. We have to understand what graphic design is all about. So right here in our screen we have the goal for the day. So by the end of this lesson, we should learn what graphic design is, and then we should understand how this graphic design is used in the real world. And then the next goal for the day is to learn how colors and fonts affect the way we feel. Then the last goal for the day should be we should be able to look at logos and posters and explain their meaning. So let's dive into it. So what is graphic design? Graphic design is the art and practice of planning and projecting ideas and experience with visual and textual content. I know when you say graphic design, some of you might know what it means, while some might not know what it means. But then if you look at our screen right here, and I know most of you might have seen this flyer that we have right here. This is called a flyer. So looking at this, it has all the information that you need to know about the Kids Coding Fest, right? So basically this is what graphic design is all about. Not really all about, but then this is one of the things that graphic design is. So moving on, designers use colors, shapes and fonts, letters to make things look good and easy to understand. If you look at the flyer that we have here, the Kids Coding Fair, this is known as fonts. Fonts are basically letters, right? And then it's colorful. There are so many colors, so it's just looking so fine and beautiful, right? So we see graphic design everywhere, in books, on websites, on food packaging, and even in video games. So graphic design is not only about, you don't only see it in flyers, right? The packaging that you see in your biscuits, the designs that you see in your biscuits, in your video games, in your website, in your books, you know, the book cover that you have, all those things are graphic design. You can see it in anywhere. So where can we see graphic design? So we can see graphic design in logos. Logos like Coca-Cola, MTN, Peak Milk, Milo. What do we mean by logo? Logo is, like, I don't know how I'll put it. Logo is what we use to know a brand. You get, like, if you look at this Coca-Cola logo right here, whenever you see this, you know they're talking about Coke, our normal Coke that we used to drinks. The same thing with Kellogg's. Whenever you see this thing, you know it's Kellogg's products, maybe their cornflakes, or you know. And then this is Milo logo, this is MTN logo. So we can see graphic design in logo. We can see it here. Then where else can we see graphic design? We can see graphic design in posters, like movie posters that make you excited to watch a movie. So if you look at this Lion King poster, movie poster here, this is graphic design right here. The same thing for the Frozen poster. This is what graphic design is. Then where else can we see this graphic design? We can see it in video games, the cool designs on the cover of Minecraft or Roblox. So see it here in our video games. This is what graphic designs are all about, right? So where else can we see this graphic design? We can see it in billboard. You know what billboard is? The big board that is usually at the side of the roads. So if you look here, this is a big board that is showcasing the Spider-Man movie, right? So this is graphic design. So where else can we see graphic design? You can see graphic design anywhere. You can just, you know, look around yourself where you are and then check anything. Maybe your cereal box, that's graphic design. Just look around you and see where you can see graphic design. So now moving on, we have the role of graphic design in everyday life. So graphic design is not just about making things pretty. It helps send message and grab attention. Just like in logos and brand, every company has a logo to help people recognize them. Example, the Nike logo is just a check mark, but everyone knows it. Why? Because graphic design makes it simple and easy to remember. You know our Nike logo now that has like a good sign. That is our Nike. Whenever you see that, you'll be like, oh, this is a Nike shoe, right? So it's graphic design makes things, one of the role of graphic design in logo design is that it makes things easy and simple to remember, right? So the next one is in posters and advertisements. Have you seen a movie poster? It tells you what the movie is about in just one picture. Advertisements use bold letters and bright colors to grab your attention. If you look at this flyer that we have right here, right, like they said, have you seen a movie poster? It tells you what the movie is all about in just one picture, right? But then we have an advertisement flyer right here, right? So looking at this design, with this flyer, we already know that this is talking about Children's Day party, and then it makes you excited. It has all the information that you need to know right here, right? Looking at this thing, you know it's Children's Day party, right? What is the time? The time is 2 p.m. What date is it? Is on May 27th. You get where is it located, location, what are they going to do? You can see here free bouncing, castle, and like cool music, a lot of things. So graphic design puts things, it makes things easy and simple to remember. So the next one is in product packaging. So let's know the role of graphic design in product packaging. So let me ask you a question. Why do you go to a shopping mall and you pick one snack over the other? You pick a biscuit or a juice over one another, because the design makes it look fun and tasty. Example, I don't know if you guys know Oreos biscuits, right? So if you look at this Oreos biscuit, the packaging is very nice. You get, like, it's very beautiful, right? So once you see this biscuit, you want to pick this biscuit over another biscuit that is there. Why? Because the design looks beautiful. The packaging is very fine. You get? So the next thing we are going to look at is famous graphic designers and their work. So just like we have famous artists, we also have famous graphic designers. And then who are those famous graphic designers? So one of them are Walt Disney. Walt Disney created the Mickey Mouse and the Disney logo, right? You know this Mickey Mouse right here. All of us know the Mickey Mouse logo and then the Disney logo, right? So this man right here was the person that created the Mickey Mouse and the Disney logo, right? So another famous graphic designer is Rob Janoff. He created the Apple logo. You know, the Apple logo looks like a beaten apple. We call it the beaten apple that we see on our iPhones, our iPad, and MacBook. This man right here created this logo, right? So whenever we see this logo, we already know that this is iPad, or this is an iPhone product, an Apple product, right? So this is what graphic design helps us to do. So another famous graphic designer that we're looking at is Ruth Cadell. She designed the colorful Google logo that we see every day. You know, now the Google logo, wherever you see that logo, you already know, oh, this is Google, right? This is the Google logo. So this is what graphic design helps us to do, right? So the next thing we are going to look at is the color in graphic design. So we all know what color is, right? So color is how we see different shades of light. In design, color makes things look attractive, grab attention, and create emotions. You know, how colorful something is might actually attract you to things, right? So we're going to look at the types of colors. So we have, one of the types of colors is primary color. We have the red, we have the blue, we have the yellow, right? So the next type of color is secondary color. We have the green, we have the orange, we have the purple. And another type of color is known as the warm colors. We have red, we have orange, we have yellow. And then in this secondary color, we can get secondary colors by mixing the primary colors. You get? So another type of color is cool colors. We have the blue, the green, and the purple. So Another type of color is the neutral colors. We have the black, there is a white color here, but you know, because the background is white, we can't see it. And then we have the gray color, right? So now, how does all this color, the primary color, the secondary color, the cool color, the warm color, and the neutral color, how does this color, how does it affect the way we feel? How does it affect our emotions, right? So different colors makes us feel different ways. It makes us feel different emotions. So let's look at the red color, which is one of the primary colors, right? So how does the red color makes us feel? It makes us feel exciting, strong, and is attention grabbing. This red color is often used for sales and warning. You know, in your traffic lights, right, where you see the red light, which means stop, right? So but here the red color, you can see the red color in our YouTube logo, and we can also see the red color in our Coca-Cola logo, which means when you see Coke, you feel so exciting and you want to drink it. Imagine drinking your Coke and you drink it and you're like, ah, you know, the exciting and the strong feeling. Then we have the blue color. Blue makes us feel calm, and then it is trustworthy and professional. It looks professional. You know, example is the Facebook logo. You can see the blue color in the Facebook logo that we have right here. So the next color you're going to look at is the yellow color. Yellow makes us feel happy and bright, right? And energetic. And this yellow color is used by brands that want to feel friendly, like the MTN and then the Snapchat logo. These people use the yellow color, and then this yellow color makes us feel happy, bright, and energetic, right? So moving on, we have the green color. The green color makes us feel fresh, natural, and peaceful. Just like, you know, the trees are green, the forests are green, you know. So it is normally used for nature, growth, and health. Example, Nigeria agricultural brands, like the flyer that we have here, this graphic design that we have here. You see, this is an agricultural company, and they used green color because green makes us feel what? Fresh and natural, and then peaceful. So moving on, another color we have here is orange. Orange makes us feel fun, friendly, and energetic too. And a mix of red's energy and yellow's energy. Who else noticed? Because we mentioned that yellow makes us feel what? Energetic, right? So orange is gotten from a mix of red and yellow's emotions, right? So we can see this orange color in our Fanta. In our Fanta design. So if you look at this Fanta design, you know Fanta, they incorporate the orange color to make it feel fun, friendly, and energetic. So moving on, we have the indigo and the violet, which is like purple, two shades of purple. So, and it makes us feel creative, royal, and magical. It's used for luxurious and imagination. So example, we have our Cadbury Bournvita right here. You see they incorporated the indigo and violet color. So I want to ask you guys, who else noticed that we just mentioned the 7 colors of the rainbow? Yes, we just did. So the next thing we are going to discuss about today is the fonts and graphic designs. So now we have talked about colors. We have understand how colors affect how we feel, you know, affect our emotion. So now let's talk about fonts. So what is fonts? Fonts are the styles of text used in design. They help communicate emotions, improve readability, and makes design look unique. Fonts are basically letters that we use in our designs, and there are different styles of fonts that you can use. So how can this font affect our emotions, right? Just like how different colors makes us feel different things, fonts also have different personalities. Some look serious, some look fun, and some look fancy. So just like Colors affect our emotions, how we feel. The same thing that font does. Font affects the way we feel, and it affects our emotion, because some fonts look serious, some fonts looks fun, and some fonts looks fancy, right? So let's look at some fonts. So one of the type of font is a font known as the serif font. These fonts have small feet or lines at the edge of the letters. They look formal and classic. So if you look at this design that we have right here, you will see that in this H now, look at the end of the letter, it has a small feet around it. You see, look at the A, the R, it has a small feet around. So this is what we call the small feet around it. So this is known as the serif font, right? So the second, how does this serif font makes us feel? It makes us feel serious, respectful, and trustworthy. Just like the design we have here, James and the Giant Fish. This is another example of serif font, right? If you look at it too, you will see that it has a small feet on it. It has a small feet. So where can we see this serif font that has a small feet, right? We can see it in newspapers, textbook, and banks. So if you look at this font here, this newspaper here, right here, you can see that this B has a small feet around here. The same thing with the S, the same thing with the I, the same thing with the N. It has a small feet around it. You know what you can also do? Since they say we can see it in our textbooks, right? Why don't you just get one of your textbooks and check and see if it has a tiny feet, if the font that was used here is a serif font. So another type of font that we have is sans serif font. So this font basically, it doesn't have a small feet at the edge. They look clean, simple, and modern. So this sans serif font, it doesn't have a small feet around them like the serif font that we just saw, right? So how does this font make us feel? It makes us feel cool, friendly, and easy to read. If you look at this design that we have right here, if you see this font here, it doesn't have any small feet. The M here doesn't have any feet around it. The same thing with the one down here, it does not have any small feet around it, right? So this is an example of sans serif font. It doesn't have a small feet around it. So this is how you differentiate it. So anytime you see a font that has a small feet around it, then you know that that font is a serif font. But if it doesn't have a small tiny feet around it, then you know that it's not it's a sans serif font. So where can we see this font? You can see this sans serif font in websites, mobile apps, and tech brands. If you look at this logo, because this is a logo that we have here, the Digital Dreams logo that we have here, you will see that it doesn't have any tiny feet around it, right? So websites can use this sans serif font, mobile apps, and tech brands. So why don't we do our research to know if this is true? So you can check some websites, can check some mobile apps, and see if they have these sans serif fonts. So moving on, where we can also see it. Okay, we have another example like the website that we just talked about. So this is Jumia website, right? If you look at this free delivery Lagos and Abuja only that we have here, this is a type of sans serif font. This is known as Montserrat Extra Bold. Is one of the fonts of sans serif, right? So look at even this Jumia logo that we have here. It doesn't have a small feet around them. So this is a website, right? And the logos, the fonts that we are used here are examples of sans serif fonts. So moving on, another type of font that we have is script fonts. These script fonts are fancy and creative. This font looks like a handwriting, looks like a handwriting that is being written, right? They are stylish and artistic, often used for special occasion. How it makes you feel? How does this script font makes us feel? It makes us feel fun, personal, and elegant. So if you look at this design that we have here. The fresh milk, this is an example of a script font. This is how it feels like. You see, looking at this fresh milk, it's fun, right? Makes you feel, oh, this is going to look fun, you get. So this is one of the example of script font. So another type of font that we have is known as display fonts. These display fonts are usually bold and unique. That's how it makes us feel, right? Can be playful, blocky, or decorative. Can be used for headlines to grab attention. So this display font is usually used by headlines, you get, to grab attentions. Headlines, we mean, can be like billboard, you get. So how does it make us feel? It makes us feel strong, confident, and powerful. So if you look at this billboard that we have here, this Pringle design that is being displayed on the billboard, if you see, the fonts are big. You see, so it is displaying the new multi-taste, multi-grain Pringles, right? So this is how a display font looks like. So moving on, where can we see this display font? We can see it in movie posters, the billboards, like we have discussed, music album covers, right? So if you look at this, our Roblox poster, you will see this is one of the examples of display fonts, right? So the next thing that we are going to be looking at are principles of designs. So in graphic design, you don't just come and you just start putting things together and just start designing. No. There are principles that guide designs. There are principles that you need to follow whenever you are designing, right? So let us look at some of the principles that you need to follow when you are designing, right? So one of the principles is known as balance. So balance keeps things so that the design doesn't feel messy. You understand? So what this balance does is that it helps you when you are following the balance principle, right? The balance rule, right? It makes your design to be neat. It makes your design to be in order so that it doesn't feel messy, so that it doesn't feel like you are putting everything together. You're just putting everything together. You just bring things together without placing them right. So now if you look at this illustration that we have here, you see this and this, you see that it is balanced very well, right? But then look at this one that we labeled imbalance here. Look at this illustration here. If you look at this, you see that this is imbalanced, right? Look where this one started, and then this one is starting from down here. This is not what you are supposed, how you are supposed to design. Everything you are designing is supposed to be balanced. Then the next one, okay, look at a design that we have here that explains the balance, right? So this have the right and the left balance. You see that every word, every font here, everything here started in the same line, you get. So this is, see, it started here and then this one is here. So this is how one of your design should look like. It should be balanced. So this is one of the example of a balanced design, right? If you look at this design right here, you can see that everything started in the same line. Everything is well balanced. It's not scattered, right? None started from here and another one from here and another one from here. You get everything aligned together. Everything they are all balanced together. So the next principle that we are going to be looking at is typographic hierarchy. Typographic hierarchy is a way to organize text so that the most important part stands out. The title is usually the biggest, while the body text is smaller. This helps readers quickly understand the main message. So what this is talking about is that in graphics design, right, the main message that you want to pass, right, the main message that you want to pass is usually the biggest. You get, like this illustration that we have here, right? You see the title is the biggest, then the subheading follows, and then the body is the smallest, right? But then look at this one that we said no, which is not how it's supposed to be. The title is actually the smallest, then the subheading follows, and then the body is the biggest. No. Okay, let's go back to the balance flyer, right? So this is the information that we are passing, the Digital Education Summit. As you can see, look at it right now. This is the biggest, so this is the title, right? So it's the biggest, and then this is the subheading, the ultimate guide to e-learning and CBT. This is the subheading, so you see it follows this, and then this is the body, so it is the smallest, right? So this is the biggest, this is our title, this is our subheading, and this is the body. So this is basically what we are trying to explain here. So in your design, you don't take the main message and you make it smaller, you get, and then you make the less important message, you now go and make it big. No, we don't do that there. So the main message should be the biggest, followed by the subheading, then the body. So the next principle that we have is known as alignment. So you line up elements properly so that the design looks clean and professional. So in your designs, you have to align everything very well. Line up elements properly so that the design looks clean and professional. This was, okay, let's go back to our balance flyer, right? So this was the same thing I was talking about. You see, everything is lined very well. You understand? Everything is lined very well. So in our alignment, you have to line up your message very well. Look at this illustration here. We have the small circle and then the big circle. Look, the small circle is at the center of the big circle, right? They are aligned properly, right? The same thing with this title and the subheading. The title is bigger and then the subheading is smaller, right? And then they all started at the same line. They all started at the same line. This is what he's trying to tell you. They all started at the same line. But then look at the one that we said no, right? This is the wrong one. So you see where the big circle started, and then look at where the small circle is starting. Then look at where the title is starting, and look at where the subheading is starting. No, this is not how it should be. They should be all aligned together. So you see, this is how your alignment should look like, not like this. You align everything to be in a good alignment. You don't mess up your work and put things where it shouldn't be. So I know all these things I'm saying, we are still just getting to understand what graphic design is. In our next class, we are all going to put all this into practice. So this is an example of a bad design, and this is an example of a good design. So if you look at this, in this design, there is no balance in this design, and there is no alignment, and then there is no typographical hierarchy here. There is nothing. But then look at this design right here. We have balance, everything is balanced together, right? And then we have our typographical hierarchy. You see, the kids coding first is the biggest because this is the message that we are passing, right? That is the title, so it is the biggest, right? And then everything is aligned together. Look at, everything started in the same place. This one is small, it started at the middle. The same thing follows here. So this is how your design should look like. But then look here, everything is just displayed. Okay, this design is talking about recycling day. Look at where the recycling day started, the annual, like everything, text that just puts anyhow and everywhere, you get. So this is a bad design, but then this is a good design, right? So with this we have come to an end of this class, and then I'm going to give you guys a mini project, right? So it's time for you to be a design detective, right? So I want you guys to arrange these flyers. So these are different graphic designs, right? And in this graphic design, these designs here, we have a bad design and we have a good design, right? So I want you guys to create 2 columns for me. 2 columns, right? So you title one good design, then you title one bad design, right? So all in the design here, if you find anyone that is a bad design, you put it here. If you find anyone that is a good design, you put it here. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8. So these are 8 different designs. So you arrange it into 4, 4. two colons, one here for four here, right? So here should be the bad design, and then here should be the good design. And then I will see your mini project in our next class. Bye. I hope you guys learned something today, right? Okay, this brings us to the end of today's class. Bye guys.